In modern society, lesbian, gay, bisexual and heterosexuality are all well-known sexualities. Whether or not they are accepted, they are acknowledged as sexual orientations. But can asexuality exist in a sexualized world? So what is asexuality? And is it possible for the public to understand?
It's like I have no sex drive. I still want to be in relationships, but there's no desire for sex. I still want the emotional closeness to someone. I still want the emotional closeness that comes with a relationship, being able to talk to someone and share secrets. But it's just, I don't have any sexual urge. I don't want to be with them in that physical way, but the emotional closeness is still something I desire.
Asexuality is an orientation, and similar to the way that homosexuality means that you're sexually attracted to people of the same gender, asexuality means that you're sexually attracted to no one, basically.
Well, how I would define asexuality is as somebody who doesn't have any sexual desires or any sexual interests. I think there has been a confusion over that term because a lot of sex therapists over the last 50 years or so have confused asexuality with a complete lack of sexual desire that may be caused from psychological reasons.
It's not something that comes naturally to people when they think about relationships. A physical relationship goes hand in hand with an emotional relationship when you ask people about it. So I guess it's fair when they don't understand.
Throughout history, sexuality has been rooted in the media. Romance, love and sexual attraction have been prominent within television and film, and have recently begun to show a wider range of sexualities. This would suggest that having no sexual desire at all is unnatural. With an estimated 1% of the population identifying as asexual, it could be time to acknowledge this. But can a sexualized society ever understand asexuality?
Because it's true. Inside of us, we both know you belong with Victor.
I don't know, no, I've got no opinion about it. So I see a transvestite the other day.
I believe I have. In my perception of asexuality, I would suspect it's somebody who doesn't have a sexual preference, perhaps. I've probably heard about it through the media, through just life experiences. I'm not sure that I'm totally comfortable with exactly what it is, so now I'm going to go away and read about it and research it.
It just doesn't sound very natural, does it? I don't know, I disagree with you on that area. I think it's just personal preference. Some people like something, some people just don't like anything at all. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and think, I don't want breakfast. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be against it all the time, it's just your personal choice.
The lack of understanding and information surrounding asexuality has led many to question whether it is a lifestyle choice, a phase, or something you are born with. This confusion ranges from the general public to professionals, as many are still learning about it.
I don't think asexuality is necessarily a psychological condition. I think it's biologically, I'd say that it comes from a biological orientation from a lot of the research that's done.
Well, I imagine it's along the same sort of lines of the disagreement between the gay and straight. A lot of people say that it's in your DNA, other people say that it's just something you choose to do. It's never really been resolved. Personally, I think it's something you're born with. I always thought that way about it. I very much think you are who you are.
Now that's a great question, because I'm not in a position to know whether you're born that way. So I'm not in a position to say I don't believe in that. So I'm sure that there are some people that are born asexual, and some people I'm sure can develop it. It's part of growing up, I suspect.
I feel it's really ignorant. If you were to ask a homosexual if it's a choice that they prefer the same sex, then they get really upset, and the same if you ask a heterosexual. So it shouldn't be fair to ask an asexual if it's a choice that they're making.
Straight, gay, lesbian or trans, many people still aspire to having a loving partner in life. So what do asexual relationships mean?
There's a dating website called Platonic Partners, for people that are asexual or else want to have relationships with someone but don't, and want to form some sort of life but don't want to have sex?
So every relationship has challenges, and a relationship between a person who's asexual and a person who's not asexual may not work out, but a relationship between two people who are both asexual or two people who are both not asexual might not work out either. The relationship between a person who's asexual and a person who's not asexual just has a few extra complications. Mostly with sex, there's going to be some sort of compromise. Either you might find a partner who's not asexual who's willing to compromise to the point where there's practically no sex or no sex at all. Or you might find an asexual who says that they're willing to compromise on sex as well and will have sex with their partner to make sure that everyone's happy.
Whilst questions surround asexuality, it is important to remember that the same questions were asked about other sexualities.
I think LGBT is not just, the LGBT, I mean, it's about inclusivity, really, getting everybody involved. Anybody who just has got a slight different sort of work, we try, because it used to just be the LGB, and then the T's only just been added, sort of like only about 10 years ago, and then there's all these different types of sexualities coming around, and like people having very different sort of, not 2.4 relationships. So yeah, I mean, why not? I don't see why not. I mean, if nobody knows about it, then maybe the LGBT is the best way to let people know about it.
From what I've researched about asexuality, I'm assuming that asexuals are kind of facing the same kind of difficulties that the LGBT people have years and years ago. Whether people think that, most people probably think that it's a choice and they just choose not to have sexual desires, but I'm assuming that they believe that it is their orientation and they were born that way. So it is very relatable to the LGBT thing.
The general perception is that it either doesn't exist, or people are just like faking it, or people just don't know about it. And it's not good. It needs more people need to know about it, because quite a few people, I think there's quite a high percentage of people that actually are, and it's just not reported. It's not seen as something that's real.
I do think that if a person identifies with the queer community, that they should be, that nobody can tell them they're not queer enough, essentially. That, it's really important to listen to them and understand what makes them identify that way before judging them and potentially kicking them out or alienating them. So.
As asexuality is acknowledged by professionals and the public, given time, asexuality may become a fully recognised orientation.